Well, this is a new one today. He's a Mark Stevens student, evidently. He sure loves his script. He sticks to the script. But this judge ain't playing. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy.
How are you, sir? Well, other than being coerced and considering being forced to appear today against my will, I'm very well, sir.
Now, what defendant doesn't feel like they're being coerced to be into court? And guess what? They are.
Thank you. I'm just going to pull up your case. What would you like to do today, sir? Looks like, what are you charged with? Well, sir, I would like to dismiss the case today. That's what I would like to do.
Of course you'd like to end the case today. Yeah.
Well, that's up to the law enforcement and the prosecution. And it looks like you've filed a motion for discovery. Do you know how to go about making a discovery appointment?
Do I know how to go about making a discovery appointment?
Yeah, that's what the judge asked you. Can you come up with an answer? You're always wanting answers to your questions.
Do I need one, sir?
Yes, because you get that from the district attorney's office, not from the court.
Okay, well,
So let me give you a number. Do you have a pen?
yes, sir.
303
Okay.
659 7720.
7720.
Yes, sir. And you can call and make an appointment.
And this is a what? Who am I calling?
That's the district attorney's office, so you can make a discovery appointment to get your discovery that you've requested.
Okay, and so you're going to grant that request, is that correct?
Well, you have a right to discovery. You have a statutory right.
Oh, he has a statutory right to discovery, and he's requesting that statutory right. Huh. He has no problem with wanting statutory rights. I wonder if he's willing to accept statutory responsibilities that come with those.
Okay.
Your Honor, I would just supplement the record. When the defendant calls me to ask for the discovery department, they'll inform him on what he needs to bring over.
And I believe you'll make an appointment so they can gather your information and then they'll give that information to you, okay?
Okay. But I don't want to come back to court.
You don't want to come back to court?
No, I want the case dismissed. I was under the impression that this would be an arraignment here today. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, well, can I swear myself in on the record? Can I do that? Right? So I'm on the record?
We're all on the record right now.
So I'm on the record currently, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Well, my intention today, because I don't want to come back, is to actually plead guilty.
Here it is, the intention to plead guilty. Well, you can have the intention to eat a cheeseburger, but until you do, you haven't eaten a cheeseburger. You can have the intention of pleading guilty, but until you do, you haven't entered a plea. And the judge wants you to enter a plea. And if you stall around and hem and haw, he'll just enter one for you because required.
So I actually brought a unsigned guilty plea here today, but I just have a few questions.
Oh, goody. The judge gets to see the old Mark Stevens unsigned plea of guilty, which is, of course, as my listeners know, is a bunch of bull.
Questions about the cause and nature of the complaint and proceedings, if that's okay with you.
If your intention is to plead guilty, would you like to talk to a district attorney in order to see if there's a plea offer in the case?
See, this is the thing, is the judge has not heard any evidence or testimony, so he couldn't dismiss the case offhandedly. He's saying, right now, if you want the case dismissed, go talk to the DA. He's the one bringing the case, and maybe you can work out a deal. So that's who you have to talk. But Mr. Sov Cit Doof, not knowing legal procedure, doesn't realize.
No, sir, I don't want to take an offer.
So you want to plead guilty to all of the charges?
That's my intention, but I have a few questions about the cause and nature of the complaint and the proceedings.
This is the standard, and if you've listened to BSBT, for instance, they all focus in on this nature and cause. That they think is their tricky stuff.
Okay, well, I can't give you legal advice. However, I would recommend that we pass this matter briefly so you can talk to the district attorney. They're the ones that are bringing charges against you, and you can talk to them regarding the charges and if there is an offer to plead to a lesser offense. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Somewhat, Your Honor, but I have questions about the cause and nature, because
God damn it, Judge, let me get to my script.
I just
just want to plead guilty. I don't want to talk to anybody. I just have a few questions, if that's okay with you.
Go ahead.
Okay, does this court allow me the privilege of being informed of the cause and nature of the complaint and the proceedings?
Uh-oh, Mr. Sov Cit Doofus wants to know if he's granted privileges by the court. I wonder if he realizes the responsibilities that go with privileges. Most well-adjusted, mentally sound adults know the answer.
I'm not quite sure what you're asking.
I'll repeat the question, sir.
No, I don't need you to repeat the question. The cause of the complaint is an alleged traffic violation. Right? That's the cause of it. The nature of it is under Colorado law.
Boom. Okay, Mr. Sov Cit Doofus, you've just been given the nature and cause. What are you going to do with it?
Can you say that one more time, please?
The cause of it is an alleged traffic violation. And the nature of it is because of Title 42 in the Colorado Revised Statutes.
Okay, that wasn't my question. My question was, does this court allow me the privilege of being informed of the cause and nature of the complaint and the proceedings today?
That's why I'm saying you should talk to a district attorney about it.
That still does not answer my question, sir. Does this court allow me the privilege of being informed of the cause and nature of the proceedings and the complaint here today?
You're charged with speeding 46 miles an hour and a 30.
Now, right here, the judge is going to give him the full-blown information to meet the Sixth Amendment requirements of being informed of the nature and cause. The judge is going to give it all to him right here.
35-mile-an-hour zone, that is a 4-point violation. You are also charged with driving without a driver's license. That is a 3-point violation. The maximum penalty for driving without a driver's license is up to a $300 fine, up to 3 months in jail. And the speeding 11 over, that's up to a $200 fine. And I believe that's all you're charged with.
Okay, that's with all due respect, sir, as a simple yes or no question, does this court allow me the privilege of being informed of the cause and nature of the complaint and the proceedings?
I just did. Whether or not you understand what I said, I just informed you of the cause and nature.
I understand you told me what the allegations were.
Okay, let's just go to the Sixth Amendment here, and it says you have the right to be informed of the nature and cause of the accusations or the allegations. So the judge totally met the requirements under the Sixth Amendment.
But my question was, am I allowed the privilege of being informed?
Yes, I just informed you.
Yes. Okay, so that's a yes.
See how a Sov Cit just grabs to one word they've been dying to hear, yes, and ignores everything else?
Thank you. Does this court allow me the privilege of a fair and meaningful session here today?
Boy, Mr. Sov Cit, you sure as hell want a lot of privileges. Are you willing to accept the responsibilities that go along with it?
Sir, we're not going to play games here. I've got other people that are waiting behind you.
I'm totally
okay?
not playing games, sir. I've been here almost 2 hours, and I just want to leave. And
yeah, well, so does everybody else that's sitting in the gallery behind you. They want to get their shit done and leave too. But no, you've got to hold them up. You think they're happy with you? You think they think you're a hero? Not hardly.
my intention is to plead guilty and be done with this. I just have like 5 questions.
I'm going to pass this matter. You can talk to a district attorney, but I've got other people to deal with, okay? we're not going to play games with this.
I'm not playing games, sir.
You can talk to a district attorney and see if there's a plea offer, or if you want to just plead if you want to plead guilty to all of the offenses, then they can give you the form to fill out.
With all due respect, sir, how can I plead guilty if I am not informed of the cause and nature of the complaint and the proceedings here today?
I'm passing the matter, sir. Next case, 16M4067.
Can I object for the record for that, please?
To what?
You're not allowing me to ask my questions.
So your questions are not relevant. I don't know
What about my question is not relevant, sir?
You've been informed of the charge, and you can make a
I have
decision.
not been informed. Objection. What do you want me to say, sir?
You can have a seat there, and Mr. James will speak to you.
Okay, the judge is saying, hey, I'm not going to go any further right here. You go talk to the DA. You work it out with him because I have nothing to do with it right now.
Well, I appreciate that very much. They didn't harm anybody. There's no evidence of any injuries. There's no corpus delicti.
Well, there, corpus delicti popping its head up.
You have a motion was denied. I really don't want to come back.
Plead guilty to having a
Negative. There's no evidence that these statutes apply to me.
Oh, there it is. That's the Mark Stevens hooker. There's no evidence that these statutes apply to me.
That's the reason my motion. I don't know if you've read it.
I took a look at it. So the offer is, which is a 2-point violation. Maximum fine is $100.
And there's no points?
Option 2. You can plead guilty to all the charges open to the court.
Okay.
That means
And
that,
that's everything he pretty much said.
yep, everything he said. You review on who decides what the penalty is. That would be a total of 7 points.
Right.
3 for the no operator's license, 4 for the speeding.
Okay.
And like you said, it'd be a fine of up to $500 and up to 90 days in jail. That's for both of them combined together. And the penalty would be completely up to the judge.
Right. And the third option?
Yes.
Other option is you can plead not guilty.
Thank you.
Either choose.
Mr. Ross.
You don't like. You don't have a choice of having the case dismissed.
I don't have a choice?
He focuses in on the one word. I don't have a choice? I don't have a choice? Hey, he gave you several choices.
Can you write that down? No choice. Choice. Complete this case, otherwise I will be charging Sergeant Meany with trespass. And trespass on the case. And I don't want to do that.
I don't know if you heard that, but he's threatening to, well, I'm going to bring a case for trespassing against my case, whatever the hell that means.
I just want to go home and get done with this. I didn't harm anybody. There's no corpus delicti. There's no evidence of
There's corpus delicti again.
these statutes apply to me. I know you don't have any evidence. I know you didn't submit a valid cause of action. Please just dismiss the case. I'm begging you.
All right.
No.
Any other questions of me?
Okay.
No, sir. All
And
right.
then you will have to provide me
We'll see you
discovery.
at the night.
Pick it up there. So we'll get the case recalled, and it's just up to you to decide whether you want to plead not guilty and contest the charges, or plead guilty to something.
I'm not clean. I'm innocent.
Or you have to assert your
I
innocence.
have to?
You
Why?
have to plead not guilty.
Susan,
Rules of criminal procedure.
and why does that apply to me?
Because you got pulled over.
I got pulled over, so those rules apply to me.
Yep.
All right. We'll recall Moses Akacheta, 16T11204. Am I saying your last name right, sir?
I didn't hear you. Sorry.
How do you pronounce your last name?
Well, that's
I think it's kind of interesting here when the judge asks him, now, how do you pronounce your last name? And the guy hem and haws around because he doesn't want to say his name on his clandestine recording, I have a feeling.
your pronunciation can vary.
Akacheta? Okay. What would you like to do today?
As I said before, sir, my intention here is to plead guilty and
Back to the script.
be done with this matter. However, I just have a few questions about the cause and nature of the complaint and the proceedings, so I can make an informed decision.
Mr. James, what are we doing here today?
Judge, I gave the defendant 3 options. I said he could plead guilty open to all the charges with a penalty up to the court, he could plead guilty to one count of having a defective vehicle with a fine only and 2 points on his license, or he could plead not guilty and choose to dispute the charges.
And in true Sov Cit performance, he wants an option that's unavailable.
He told me a couple times he doesn't choose any of those things. He chooses to have the case dismissed. I tried to explain to him that that wasn't an option, and I'm not going to agree to that today, and so the case is not getting dismissed unless the court is going to do that. That's where negotiations reached an impasse.
Okay. Well, the court does not have a Rule 11 for a guilty, so the court will enter a not guilty plea on.
Objection.
Oh yeah, everybody objects to being, found or at least not guilty at the beginning.
I did not enter a not guilty plea.
We'll set this for a.
Is my objection noted, Your Honor?
Get ready for some doozies here.
There's no response from the magistrate? Your Honor,
Sir, do
is
you
my
want to-
objection noted, sir?
We're on the record. You don't have to note anything.
Okay.
This isn't TV.
Well, I did not,
This isn't TV.
for the record, enter any plea today. My intention was to plead guilty. I just was asking a few questions so I can be informed.
Would you like a trial to a jury or to a judge?
More options. Let's see how the Sov Cit handles it.
Objection, sir. I have not entered a plea. I do not want to go to trial. My intention is to plead guilty here today. I just have a few questions.
I've answered your questions.
You have not answered all my questions, sir. You forced me to go to talk to the DA and negotiate a deal.
In the absence of a plea agreement,
I still have a question on the table, sir. I'm sorry for interrupting. Go ahead.
is it a repeat of a question that you asked me before?
Well, I have several questions, sir.
Is it along the same vein as the questions you've asked me before?
I don't know. That's up for interpretation.
Would you like a trial to the jury or a trial to the court?
I would not like a trial, Your Honor. I would like to plead guilty here today if I can ask a few questions and be informed of the cause and nature of the complaint and the proceedings.
They just will not get off the script. Mark Stevens says, stay with the script. Ethics Instead, our oratorical prowess, says, stay with the script.
Sir, you have the right to plead guilty to the charges. If you'd like to do that, Mr. James will give you a form to fill out.
Would you accept a plea of guilty if I'm not informed?
Well, the court will go through a colloquy.
A colloquy? Excuse me, sir. I do not understand that word.
The court will have a conversation with you about whether you understand the charge that you're pleading guilty to. And if you do not, then the court will not accept your guilty plea. Does that make sense?
I'm not 100%. No, it does not.
Nothing makes sense to these idiots.
Because
You cannot plead guilty. The court will not accept a plea for something you do not understand. And you
well, I have
are
a few
giving the
questions
court the
on.
impression that you do not understand. That's why the other option is to plead not guilty.
See, there you go. The judge got him in a corner there saying, well, you seem like you don't want to plead guilty, so the only other thing to do is to try the case.
How can I understand the cause and nature if you haven't let me ask my questions?
That is something that you ask of the district attorney when you enter your plea, not of the court. I will have a conversation with you if you want to plead guilty. Otherwise, I'm going to enter a not guilty plea and set this case over. Okay?
Objection. I do not want to enter a not guilty plea. I would like to plead guilty here today. I just have a few questions. That's
Then
okay.
plead guilty.
Did you hear that? He's going to say it a couple of times. Judge said, well, then plead guilty, if that's your intention.
Well, I need to
Then
understand the
plead
cause.
guilty. Do you understand me?
Well, I need...
I don't know where you Googled this and what you're trying to do, but we're not playing games here.
I'm not playing games.
All of these people
sir.
are being paid, and you're wasting their time.
Well, they're being paid, so it doesn't sound like a waste. I'm the only one who's not being paid right now. I'm trying
You're
to
wasting
defend
your
myself.
time. Isn't that enough?
No, I'm trying to defend myself, sir. Am I allowed to defend myself here today?
That gives me the impression that you'd like to plead not guilty and defend yourself. Is that what you'd like to do?
No, I would like to plead guilty.
Then
Did you catch that? Did you catch that? He says he wants to defend himself here. And he wants to defend himself by pleading guilty. Oh my God. You can't make this shit up.
plead guilty.
Questions.
I'm going to give you 1 minute.
You're going to give me one
I'm going to give
minute.
you 1 minute to talk to Mr.
Is that a rule of
James.
the court to give me 1 minute?
You can talk to Mr. James and enter a plea agreement. Otherwise, I'm entering a plea agreement.
Objection.
You have 1 minute from now. You can watch the clock if you'd like.
You're going to...
The judge told me I'm supposed to ask you questions?
Yes, you can ask me.
You're the prosecutor.
Okay, he's back talking to the DA. You'll be able to hear it if you listen closely.
In the afternoons and at night?
There's no reason for me to do that.
No reason. Yep. Okay,
Okay,
well, there's
Yes.
no reason for me to be here today because
wanted to know, thank you.
I'm being threatened.
Did you ever have a license, sir?
How are we doing?
Because you said if I don't come here today, you will harm me. That's what I
I'm
was
in the
told.
process of getting my residency.
How?
Okay.
I was told that by the dude who gave me this ticket.
I'm just going to do the minimum of
If
30
I didn't
days.
show
I
up
will lie to do
today,
that.
I would be harmed. I just
I won't do
don't
any
want to be
additional
threatened any longer.
fines or use.
Here he's talking about how he's been threatened so much that if he doesn't come to court, they're going to come get him with a warrant. And he thinks that's he being treated violently.
Well, I didn't harm anybody. There's no corpus
Because when I look at your driver's record,
There's no
it looks like
There's no valid
you never had a
cause of action.
license.
So you
Basically,
don't want to plead guilty?
Well, my intention is to plead guilty.
Please come forward and see
I
my
need to
card,
ask
okay?
some questions to the court, and you're not the court.
You're not going to be able to ask those questions to the judge.
You can lie to me, I know that, so I'm just telling you what's up. Known to me.
Okay, but what I'm saying is if you want to ask those questions, then you're going to have to plead not guilty.
Well, that's your word. I don't need to talk to you.
That's what the judge is saying, is you can't ask those questions.
Well, technically, he's a magistrate, not a judge.
That's accurate. And if you did want to not ask the questions,
Well, let me ask you this.
you want to do general judge, or you have to plead not guilty and choose to
Have you read my discovery paper that I submitted to you?
I looked at it, yeah.
Okay,
I
and you're
read
going
all of it.
you're going to be able to provide me with all that information on it?
No, I don't remember what's on it.
So how are you going to do it? So you're telling me you're going to be able to provide me with it?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is that we'll provide you discovery in the case, which is all the evidence that we have as far as reports go and any photos or video or anything like that.
And that's going to prove that those laws apply to me?
He's still hung up on, so all this evidence, discovery evidence I'm going to get is going to prove that the laws apply to me. And, of course, we know what that means in reality.
Like I said, that's not something
So, and that's for you, that's for the court to decide, not for...
that is for the court to decide. You're right. The court does decide. You can take this case to a jury too. Yeah, that's definitely a possibility if you plead not guilty.
Well, I'm not making a plea because I'm innocent.
Well, that's if you say you're innocent and you want to assert your innocence, you do that by pleading not guilty. That's how it works in this system.
Well, what evidence is that how it works?
That's this court has jurisdiction over the whole of Adams County, and accordingly,
How are you going to prove that I'm in evidence paid?
Well, I'm going to ask the officer if you were in Adams County when he met you and testify to that.
Adams County is a legal person, not my ass.
So, that's a point of law that you can argue to the judge, and the judge will make a finding on that.
Well, how does this court assume jurisdiction right now?
Oh, God, here we go through the jurisdiction lesson.
This court has general jurisdiction pursuant to the Colorado revised statutes in Colorado.
Right, but why do those statutes apply to me?
That is accepted that they do.
It's accepted? Is there any evidence of that?
It's provided by the United States Constitution, I guess, if you want to go all the way.
And of course, as we all know, evidence of jurisdiction is the fact that you're fucking there.
Okay, and how does the United States Constitution apply to me? Is there any evidence of that?
Well, because you're president of the United States.
Is there any evidence that my presence within the United States subjugates me to your Colorado revised statute?
Bingo. Bingo. Any country on planet Earth, when you're within the boundaries and their borders, their laws will apply to you, and they'll make damn sure they do.
Statute?
I wouldn't use the word subjugate, but I guess the bottom line is you're here, so the laws apply to you.
So I'm here because Sergeant Meany told me that he would harm me if I didn't show up.
So like I say, the bottom line is you can choose to dispute the charges, and if you want to make legal arguments to a judge and factual arguments to a jury, you can plead not guilty.
I'm not making a plea.
The chance to do that. If you don't want to do that, you can leave here. We'll issue a warrant, and we'll pick you up on the warrant later.
That's a threat. Are you threatening me?
Nope. Or
you said we.
Every time a Sov Cit has something explained to them, they immediately go to, "Are you threatening me?"
You're gonna pick me up on a warrant?
I'm not going to.
You said we. Who's we?
You're a law enforcement agency. Or you can plead guilty to either that offer that I made.
So you're threatening me?
Or
you're going to hire some law enforcement officials to come pick me up?
Nope.
And I'm innocent?
I don't think you are, no.
I know, but the court assumes me innocent. And you're telling me you're going to come and arrest me, an innocent man?
So do you want to make one of those guilty pleas? Do you want to plead not guilty?
I would like to plead guilty, but I have some questions for the court.
You can't ask the questions.
Why not?
Because the court's not allowing you to.
Why is the court not allowing me to?
He has the discretion to not allow those questions in this kind of proceeding.
So the judge is not allowing me to ask relevant questions in order to inform me?
The court is going to Sir, have you made a decision what you would like to do today?
As I've said before, my intention is to plead guilty if I could just be informed of the cause and nature of the complaint and the proceedings.
Oh my God, see? He's still on that script. He's been brainwashed so much thinking that script is like magic, like it's a silver bullet, get out of jail free.
Okay, write this court date down. February 1st.
Judge ain't playing. Here's your trial date, mister.
At 9 a.m.
Objection. I don't want another court date.
In Division 3.
I don't want another court date. Objection. I would like to plead guilty here today. I just have a few questions about the cause and nature of the complaint and proceedings.
I've given you an opportunity, mister.
You're not giving me an opportunity to ask my questions.
Your next court date is February 1st at 9 a.m. in Division 3.
And if I do not show up, sir?
A warrant will be issued for your arrest.
Okay, I'm going to consider that a threat, and I will be here under threat and duress.